Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today is review time. Wltoys V929, the Beetle version. QuadCopter. Pretty cool little machine. Actually, pretty cool big machine in comparison. You know, here's a little brother, UDI 816. Huge difference in size. Anyhow, so let's talk about this. To bind this thing to its remote, you do have to turn the remote on first. Okay, I've talked about this in another video on how to bind this thing. Then you plug the Beetle in, level as possible surface, and it'll sync up properly. Okay. Otherwise, plug the toy in first, then the remote. It won't. Anyway, so I've been doing some flying with this thing, having some crashes. You know, it's a little different to fly than the UDI. I'm pretty used to the UDI now, so I'm not crashing quite as much. But this thing's a little bit bigger, a little bit different. It's also a 4-axis gyro. The UDI 816's got a 6-axis gyro. But this one's 4 axes, so you do have a little bit of self-correcting to do. So when you're flying around, you know, going forward or doing some whatever type of flying you're doing with it on the sticks, when you let go, it doesn't always come back 100% to a hover. So you have a little bit of self-correcting of your own to do. Whereas if you have a 6-axis gyro, you don't have to worry about that so much. Okay? So, but with this one you do. Now, of course you've got bigger blades, so you also have much lower head speeds. Okay? And it doesn't take that much to get this thing off the ground, which is really nice. So there's a lot of wind force there, which is great. Quads this size are capable of carrying like small cameras, because there are some quads that are actually the exact same size, same setup, except they have a camera right from the factory. So they are strong enough to carry a very light camera. Okay. As far as flying characteristics go with this thing, it is 4-channel. Does have a few stunts that it can do, which is kind of cool. You know, really like the stunts. Do it once in a while, not too often. I'm more into the flying aspect. The battery that it comes with, it gets you an easy 10 minutes of flight time. It's a 500 milliamp, 3.7 volt battery. Okay, and it's under here. All right, and it's got actually a little stopper plug on it. So if you get factory replacement batteries, it'll all be the same. I opted out to get the higher performance batteries as spare batteries. They have a little bit longer cable on them, and they're 600 milliamps, and they provide even more flight time. I haven't done a full flight as far as timing it goes, but it feels like forever. That extra 100 milliamps does give some extra flight time for sure, which is great. And these are a 15C discharge, 600 milliamp, 2.1 watt hours LiPo batteries. So they work really well, and they're an upgrade for this machine, and they'll work in many others too. Anyhow, so as far as crashability goes, I've hit this thing into the house a couple times against the concrete, smacked it in the driveway. Actually got it hung up in my hydro line that goes to my shed, which is good. It's only extension cords, so at least it's safe to dig it out of there. So I've had a few little setbacks there. Got it caught in the tree once. It was kind of cool. No damage, which is awesome. Not one bit of damage. And I was surprised because of these landing skids that are on here. I mean, the whole thing's ABS plastic, which is great. So it's very high impact, very durable. It's going to take some crashes, which is great. And so far, so good. Nothing's broken. It's like, whew, thank God, you know. And now, what I don't like about it is the canopy. I mean, I like the fact it's a Beetle, but it's very, very super soft, super flimsy. I actually had a crash into the tree yesterday without getting it stuck in the tree, and one of the branches grabbed the canopy and actually ripped the canopy off the thing, and of course it resulted in a crash to the ground. Otherwise, the canopy will stay on there. It does stay on rather well, but if it does get caught by something, it'll get taken off. Good point is it's a very lightweight canopy, which is good because the less weight you have equals more flight time. Because when you look at a quadcopter like the UDI 816, it's a hard plastic canopy. Okay, And so it's going to also be heavier too. So that's the bit of a drawback, and you lose a little bit of flight time because of extra weight, right? So the lighter the better, but I still find it a little flimsy. But at least you can, you know, you can squish the hell out of this thing. Like, I just take it off here. You can squish this thing, you know, mangle it around. It's going to come right back to its shape. Pop it right back on. Away you go. Okay? Now, you can buy different canopies for this quadcopter, because they make a lot of quadcopters that are exactly the same except a different canopy, or they have a camera, or they don't have a camera, you know, type of thing. So there are different choices of canopies. So instead of buying a new quadcopter, maybe just buy a different canopy if you want to change things up. It's a lot cheaper, right? Canopies are cheap. Or you can opt out and have all different quads, which is kind of cool too. Nothing wrong. You can't have too many cool toys in the house, right? So, but it definitely has the good flight time. Very, very impressed with that. The 4-axis gyro, kind of a, but hey, you know, it is what it is, right? I mean, not everything can come with 6 axis as much as we'd like it, you know, too. But it does come with 4 axis, so just remember you do have a little bit of self-correcting. Now, as far as flying in the wind goes, it's actually not too bad. It's fairly stable. You know, I've had this thing out in, you know, 10, 15 kilometer-an-hour winds. Not a huge issue. I've had it up around, you know, 40, 50, 60 feet range. I haven't had it much higher than that yet. I'm still getting used to things. And before I take it up that high, I think I actually want to go to more of an open field. Because I just really don't want to have the wind catch it if it's a windy day doing this. And wind up somewhere in the forest where I won't get it back. Because my backyard, as a lot of you guys know, is the forest. It's the woods. I live, you know, part way up the side of a mountain here. So, but, so I want to go to a big clearing area when I take it up really high, because I'd like to see how high this thing can really go before I even lose range on it. So, and also see what happens when that does happen. You know, maybe it'll just drop like a stone and fire back up when it comes back into range. Who knows? But we want to find that out eventually. So, but I'm going to give this thing like a definite kudos. Like, it is a cool little machine. It flies very nicely, you know. I like the fact that the transmitter has different stages for cyclics. You know, it defaults at 20%, so indoor flying at 20%, it's really good, and it's very good for beginners for something this big. You know, so if you're just a beginner person into anything 4-channel, this is a great quad to start with if you like quadcopters. And at 20% default cyclics, you can, you know, move the stick fast if you want, or shove it all the way over. And it's not going to get up and run away on you, you know. If you click the button again, you go to 40% cyclic. Again, 60. And at 40%, it's lot less docile. 60%, definitely a lot less docile. This thing can get up and get some serious speed going, which is a lot of fun. You know, so I have a bit of fun, especially on quiet days out here, and there's no traffic, because then I can take it up the road and really get some, you know, good speed going and have some fun with it. But it can get some serious speed. So, and then of course you go to the 100% mode, and this is going to put you into stunts, where you hit the stick and it's going to do its flips and rolls type stuff. And you'll know when you're in that mode because you get this annoying beep, right? And then you click it again, and you're back to 20% default. So, works really well. Really liking it. So, overall, 4.5 out of 5. How's that sound, guys? I mean, it's not perfect, you know, but it is a great machine. The quality is good. The build quality is good. Battery life is amazing, you know, even for a factory default battery, you know, very, very good flight time. I like the sticks. I like the display. I also like the fact that this remote will bind to other Wltoys machines. One of which for sure is the V911, which I have a video up on, you know, how to bind it, and, you know, the fact you don't have to keep rebinding with that stick trick every time you want to switch between your Beetle and your V911. And it does remember the models that it was bound to, so you don't have to reprogram the thing every single time. I just don't know how many different ones it will bind to, so I don't know how many it'll hold in memory, how many different models, but does a really good job. Very nice machine. Does use 6 AA batteries in the remote. Okay, so it is a bit of a battery hog. Now, this is something you commonly find on a lot of the Wltoys remotes, is this back hatch. Normally, you'll find a charger cable in here. Not on this one. You will not find that on this one at all. Okay, so it has to be charged from its own plug, okay, or its own charger. So, which is good, because then you're not killing off your batteries. The batteries in the remote do last a very long time. You're going to get a lot of use out of those 6 AA batteries before you'll even have to think about replacing them. Just keep in mind that the lower your battery power does go in your transmitter, it will reduce your range between your transmitter and your quad. So, and that's just the nature of when batteries get weaker. Okay, same as when your battery gets weaker in your quad, you're going to start to lose a bit of range. Okay, but performance wise, definitely a plus. We will definitely be doing a flight video for you guys, so you can actually see this thing in action here. And we'll also do some stunts with it, you know, get her up there and show you how it does the stunts. So you got to stay tuned for that video for sure. Not sure if it's going to happen today or during the week, but you'll know when the video's up. So anyways, that's your scoop on it. Now, one other thing, just because I know I'm going to get asked this anyways, blades. Okay, it does come with an extra set of blades. Blades aren't that expensive to buy extras anyway. Held in with a screw. Just one screw. Pull the blade out, put the new one in, line up the holes, put the screw back in, locks her down. It does have plastic nylon gears in the bottom, okay? But your pinion gear off your motor is metal. So you've got some good quality there. You know, it's a good mix, right? So very good that way. Like I said, very strong built. Now, this does not come with a light kit. You can put a light kit on. All the ports are here, okay, for light bars. So you can either make up your own light bars or separate little LEDs, however you want to do it, or you can buy the light bar kit. So it's an inexpensive kit, and then you can fly it at night. So that's it. Any other questions? Feel free to ask. Oh yes, one more thing before I forget. Trim settings. These are your digital trim settings. Okay? And the remote will remember your trim settings that you set for the quad. So here's my settings here. These are the settings for mine. Okay, and we'll just turn this off. Turn it back on. And they're there. Now, even if you change your batteries, it'll still remember it. Okay? No problems there. But anyway, okay, so that's it. Done. Feel free to leave your comments, questions. See you in the next one. Thanks.